I need an honest answer. Was I wrong for manipulating the woman my date called his best friend? I'm 37. I lost my husband 3 years ago, and this was my first time letting someone in. But within 4 weeks, I realized I wasn't dating a man, I was dating a ghost's property. He told me I was jealous. So I went to her, told her I didn't want him, and watched his entire world go silent. Was this a betrayal, or the only way to save my sanity? My husband passed away 3 years ago. We were together since I was a teenager. When he died, the part of me that knew how to be someone's person went into the ground with him. Pause. One's dating at 37, after a decade and a half off, feels like learning a language that everyone else has spent years perverting. I met Ryan through friends. He was charming, attentive, and for the first time in years, I let myself feel a spark. But then, the phone became the third wheel. A steady stream of texts, smirks, and shared secrets I wasn't part of. Pause. One evening at my place, it became excessive. I finally asked if everything was okay. He laughed at that hollow, practiced laugh and said it was just his best friend teasing him about being on a date. Then came the red flag he thought was a reassurance. He told me women in the past always had problems with our friendship. Pause. I felt a specific kind of dryness in my throat. Not jealousy, recognition. He wasn't comforting me, he was showing me the map of a recurring disaster and expecting me not to read it. Pause. 0. 5s. But then something happened. I realized whatever I had been feeling for him had just walked quietly out of the room. The calls continued. One dinner, she called 4 times. They spoke for 20 minutes while my food got cold. Ryan looked embarrassed, but it was the embarrassment of a man caught with his hand in a cookie jar, not a man who respected my time. Pause. 1. D-Day arrived. I met her at a party. She was warm, polite, and clearly the emotional center of his universe. We hit it off. As my new bestie, she eventually asked the inevitable, "How are things going with Ryan?" Pause. 1. 5s. Pain spike start. I looked her dead in the eye and delivered the truth like a surgical strike. "I'm not looking for anything serious," I said. "He's just fun for now. I don't see a future." Pause. 1. I watched her brain do the math. All that text hysteria, all those emergency calls to disrupt our dates, were all for a woman who didn't even want him. The power she derived from being the other woman evaporated in a single sentence. Pain spike end. I was right. Ryan's phone went radio silent. He's more subdued now, almost puzzled by her sudden busyness. He says she disappears in periods. Pause. 1. I wanted to tell him she only disappears when you're available to her again. But I didn't. I just felt sorry for him, a man of 31, being used as a meter for another woman's desirability. Pause. 1. I am not new enough at grief to waste my remaining patience on a tethered pursuer. I'm choosing my own peace.
Hello, I'm Dr. Julian Reed. What Lauren identified with such surgical precision is a relational dynamic I call the availability anchor. The friend in this story isn't a villain in the traditional sense. She is the anchor. Her role is to maintain emotional access to Ryan without ever committing. Notice the pattern. The anchor reactivates the moment the target, young, it's close to another woman. This isn't love, it's access maintenance. When Lauren informed the anchor that she wasn't a threat, the anchor lost interest. The game only works when there is a competitor. Ryan is what I call a tethered pursuer. He seeks new love, but is psychologically leashed to an unavailable figure. He interprets her interference as closeness when it is actually control. If you've ever felt like the real competition in your relationship wasn't another person, but the ghost of a dynamic that was there before you arrived, you understand why Lauren walked away. Truth deserves witnesses, but some people would rather marry their illusions. So the real question for the comments is this: was Lauren's truth bomb to the friend a fair move to protect her peace? Or did she owe Ryan the truth directly, even knowing he wouldn't hear it? I'll be reading your answers below.